Hi, I'm Janet Gregory, Southland Regional Coordinator for the New Zealand Landcare Trust. We're here in Waikawa Harbour. There's been a project run here in the catchment for the last 2 to 3 years, and we're really wrapped with how the farmers have gotten behind it and fenced off and identified key areas to fence off around the river. This will add to the rest of the biodiversity that's still present. It's a beautiful part of the South Catlins and Southland, and we're lucky to still have this bush and habitat around us that actually enhances the whole catchment. We've had a field day here today with scientists and freshwater ecologists from Environment Southland, and we've walked out into the harbour at low tide and looked at what's happening with sediments and some of the crustacea that you'll find in the harbour. They've started monitoring in 17 sites throughout the catchment, and this information will start to build a bigger picture for the locals on what's happening in their catchment.
I think it started in 1995, and consistently it's probably in the top 20 of the worst sites in Southland for fecal contamination. So with everything, all water quality parameters, you see really high seasonality. So depending on what's happening, like if you're having lots of floods, or you have a really wet spring, you'll see these spikes. So that's the thing. Like the one thing that we can't control is what comes out of the sky. The one thing we can control is what goes onto the land and what comes off the land. But then you've also got sort of the bioturbators and the other creatures all living in this top surface.
So if you turn the mail over. Going into waterways, the little hidey holes that fish live in gets filled in. I could live in under there, or I could live in under here, or between there. But as soon as you start to get sediment, it fills in all those gaps. So there's just a layer of soft sediment, and there's nowhere for the fish to live. When you start to get a lot of fine sediment, it can start to irritate their gills as well. So it's like us living in a sandstorm. If you can imagine a lot of sediment going into the water, the way a fish breathes is water passing over its gills, and if there's a lot of fine sediment in that water, it's not very nice. It's like us trying to breathe in smoke or breathe in a sandstorm. Oh, where'd that go?
Here he goes, up there, front left, under the
Front left. Oh yeah.
baby trout.
Baby trout.
Oh wow!
Yum!
Is fortunate in that it's still got large tracts of native forest. So if we can restore the riparian strips in the more impacted areas, there should be a good response. Fish should be able to come in quite readily and colonise, and you should increase the diversity with a little bit of thoughtful management into how you deal with rivers running through your land.
Lovely bird life, lovely harbour, great river, good catchment, lovely spot to live.